The end is near, my old treacherous friend.
Oh, she's coming.
What a shame you'll be unable to see it.
What's up guys, this is Big Original Autobot 97 back with another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers from last night mainline Voyager class Megatron. Arguably one of the best Megatron figures ever. And even the design is wickedly cool from the toy line of, let's be honest, the worst Transformers movie ever. But this figure was something else. The design, details, transformation, everything was off the charts with this guy. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the last night Voyager class Megatron. Starting off here in robot mode, here we have the head here. And it's really nicely sculpted here. You got the red here for the eyes, which are really menacing, and the yellow on the teeth here for some reason. But it definitely evokes the evilness of the Decepticon leader that we all know and love to fear. And there you have these tusks here lying up the sides of the head, which do not come together to form the battle mask like it did in the film and the leader class version. And you got some silver paint here on the forehead here, which is looking incredible. And there are some clear plastic bits here, right here, as you can see here underneath the neck, and on the top here on the forehead, which are really cleverly integrated, by the way. Moving on here to the shoulders, you can see here they are very asymmetrical here, and so is the chest design here. And you can see here on the right hand side, here on the shoulder pad, you got some smooth lines here, and you can see some really nice mustard yellow color here. And on the right chest panel here, you got some vents, while on the left hand side it's a little bit smooth here, and it has a nice Decepticon symbol right there. And you can see here on the top of the left shoulder pad here, you got the shoulder spike here, which is a really nice nod to the original G1 Megatron here. And moving on here to the lower part of the torso, you can kind of see the 2007 movie Megatron face right there. It's kind of like wearing that as a shirt, but I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it's really nice and hilarious and nonetheless. Moving on here to the lower body, you get some of these side skirts here, which are basically the Knight-esque parts here, but they're really nicely done nonetheless here. And you can see they're gonna be forming the thrusters here for the vehicle mode here, and you can see some really nice Knight-esque inspired details here on the front skirt. And the legs, ooh, the legs. The legs are really nicely detailed, sculpted detail here, I should say. And if you lift up the front skirt here, bang! You can see some of the other nicely sculpted detail here, which is really nice. And again, the knee pads here are again very like the Knight-esque. That's the whole cue here about this guy. He's basically the Knight here, as basically denoted in the title here. And the feet here are really cool looking, and even the calf section here is really nicely sculpted. And even turning around here to the back, he also is really nicely sculpted here. So overall, this figure is absolutely filled with so many sculpted details. And the color here is basically just two colors, three colors here I should say, just a little bit of a red and yellow and mustard gold, and he always has been monochromatic though. But one thing that plagues this figure here, when you even look this figure here from the top, he's unfortunately quite hollow here on the top. Even the forearms are hollow, even the legs are a little bit hollow right there, and you can see the back sections here are also hollow. I really wish that they had also make some forearm covers like they did with Warp Cybertronian Trilogy / Legacy figures, but oh well, what are you gonna do? I'm really excited to see how the Studio Series can improve upon this design with the improved articulation and improving the overall solidity here of the figure. Speaking of which, the articulation may not be up to the standard set by the Studio Series, Warp Cybertronian Trilogy, and the Legacy figures, but he's still articulated nonetheless for the time this figure was made in. Starting off here with the head is on a ball joint that can rotate 360 degrees and can move up and down here just a little bit. The arms can rotate all the way 360 degrees. They can move in and out here within the shoulder block by moving out this panel here out of the way, so you can accommodate that. You got the bicep swivel here, which are really tight for a 7-year-old figure. And you got the over 90-degree bend here at the elbow. No wrist swivel and no waist swivel here, unfortunately. But due to the awesome transformation sequence, I can give it a pass. Let's get these arms out of the way so you can lift up the side skirts here, and you can lift up the front skirts here, so you can accommodate the movement of the hips, which can move forward and back here just a little bit. They can move in and out here, surprisingly. You got the thigh swivel, you got the 90-degree here bend at the knee, which reveals really nicely some sculpted detail. And you got some calf movement here for the transformation purposes, and the beautiful ankle pivot also for the transformation purposes. So overall, the articulation is there, but I wish that he did have some wrist swivel and a waist joint. But again, I'm really hoping to see how Studio Series can tackle this weekend design here in the future. Now, in terms of the accessories here, he does come with two of them. First of all, here is his signature and iconic fusion cannon here, which is really nicely sculpted and really detailed here nonetheless here. It is a little bit smaller here than how it was in the film, which should have been bigger here, but due to his awesome transformation sequence, which we'll get to that later, I'm gonna let it slide. And the second of all here is his really cool looking badass sword, and which, much like the figure itself, is really nicely sculpted here. And you can see got some spikes here right on the top here, on the bottom of it as well here. And if you want to use the sword here, you can come around here to the hands here. You can see here, obviously there's a little hole here. Obviously he can hold them. So Megatron here is ready to slice and dice some Autobots here with this sword. And if you don't want to use the sword here, you can come around here to the back, and you can see here there's a little tab slot right there, and you can see here the little tab right here on the bottom of the hilt here of the sword, where you can store it here on his back, and it doesn't really look bad at all whatsoever. Now, in terms of the size comparisons here we have the last 9 Voyager class Megatron compared next to his arch enemy Optimus Prime, and as you can see, they are really nicely scaled together here with one another here. Now, we all know that there's a listing confirmed here for this design here of Optimus here in the Studio Series line, and I'm really curious to see how that's going to turn out. But for now, here we have these two guys. Next up, for more robot size comparison, here we have him next to his Decepticon Jet Cohort Nitro Zeus, the 33rd anniversary repaint of Siege Voyager class Megatron, War for Cybertron Siege Hound and Mirage, War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Voyager class Cyclonus, Legacy Year 1 Voyager class G2 Universe G-Axis, and last but by no means least, the Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Voyager class Soundwave, with a little bit of certain someone here, right here in the chest. So overall, I like the robot mode more than I expected. But when it comes to the transformation, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's really cool and really fun. It has some brilliant steps, which I'll tell you about as we go on. To start off the transformation here, take the head and rotate it around so that the chin is gonna line up here in this section right there. Then take the nose cone here and flip it up like this and flip it up on the top of the head. Then come around here to the arms, hold in the fists here like so. Then take the fusion cannon here, rotate it onto the side and flip up the barrel to lift it up and snap it into place. Then untap the chest sections here like so and flip them all the way up to the back, and as you can see here, there's a little tab slot here right there created by moving the fusion cannon away, and there's a little tab here right there so that the arms are going to pick into here together here like so. So it's gonna take a little bit of finesse though, but once you get that, there you have the arms fully attached right there. Then take the chest sections here and fold them down here like so. Then use the hip skirts to get them out of the way like so, to move the legs out of the way so you can bring these down here. And as you can see here, the forearms here are gonna peg into these tab slots here right on the front skirts right there, so that it will hold it up together here like so. Then come around here to the legs and these side skirts, and I love the way how these transform here. So take these side skirts here, rotate them all the way up here like so, and lift it up. Do the same thing here on the other side. Rotate them around like so, so that the thruster is facing down, and lift it up. And this right here is my favorite part. And then what you're gonna do here, take this section here, and that's gonna form the wings, which is really brilliant and impressive here. Then take the foot here and rotate it up like this at the ankle toe here, and as you can see here, there's a little tab slot right there, and that's gonna peg in here on the underside here of the wing like so. And then adjust the leg here like this, so that doesn't perfectly blend in here with the overall jet mode. Do the same thing over here. Untab the wings here from the sides of the legs, then rotate then take the feet and use the ankle tilt here to reveal a peg hole here, so that's gonna peg in here on this tab here on the underside of the wing like so. It takes like I said, it's gonna take a little bit of finesse though, but once you've done that, now you're gonna use the side skirts here to gonna finish off the transformation, and that's gonna hold off the jet mode here altogether. And as you can see, there's a little slot here, and it's gonna peg tab right there. There's gonna peg into this slot right there, and there's a tab slide right there on the underside of the wing, and then this is where it's gonna peg into. So align this all up until you fully get it something along the looks of this. Do the same thing over here, and then peg this one first, then peg it here onto the sides here of the wings, and bingo! There we have the last 9 Voyager class Megatron fully transformed into his awesome looking cybertronian jet mode. And I love how this turned out. This jet is very sleek and very intimidating. While the jet mode is cybertronian, it does have a little bit of a real life look to it here. Looking at the details here, starting off here with the cockpit, you can see some mustard painted right here even on the sides right there, and you can see the transparent red poking out of the cockpit, which is really cool here. Then you can see the nose cone here is also really nicely detailed, and it has some really nicely tiny painted guns here. And if you want Megatron to blast some Autobots here into oblivion here, then you can see here you got the mustard paint here on the engine block right there. You got the metallic teal blue here on the rear thrusters here, and you can see the mustard paint here right here on the wings. And I love here how the barrel here of the fusion cannon blends in with the overall jet mode here. And as you can see here, those are the real thrusters here. And as we really come around here to the underside, you do see some robot junk here inside here, like the sides of the chest here, like obviously the arms folding around. You can see the head and most the overall chest right there. And the biggest eyesore here is basically the feet hanging on here on the underside here of the wings. But due to his monochromatic color scheme here, I can definitely look at that. So overall here, despite the imperfections, I still really like this jet mode here. And it's pretty solid too, to accompany a really banging here looking robot mode. Now in terms of the weapon storage here, you can take the sword here and you can use this slot here right there. So so you can peg it in here right. And there's the weapon storage. So it's not the best weapon storage here, but it's not the worst here. But I can really live with it though. Now in terms of the vehicle mode size comparison, here we have Voyager class last time Megatron next to the last time Voyager class Optimus Prime. And again, looking great next to each other. Here's how Megatron sizes up with his jet cohort Voyager class Nitro Zeus, who is a really big jet here than Megatron here, considering Megatron being the leader of the Decepticons. With the Siege 35th Anniversary Voyager class Megatron, Legacy G2 Universe G-Axis, 4 for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Voyager class Cyclonus, who still has a best jet mode here by the way, with Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Voyager class Thundercracker, with War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Deluxe class Hound and Mirage, and last but by no means least, with Studio Series Rise of the Beast Deluxe class Bumblebee. And so here are some final thoughts on the Transformers The Last Night Voyager class Megatron. Overall, this figure is phenomenal. Robot mode wise, it's fantastic. It looks exactly how Megatron looked here in the film, and I really wish that he had a flippable battle mask like the leader class was able to do and the film itself, but I'm really okay with that. And in terms of the articulation, it's there, but it's not up to the standard set by Studio Series War for Cybertron Trilogy and the Legacy figures here, especially the lack of the waist joint here. But because of the transformation, I could give it an easy pass. And speaking of the transformation, it's easy and straightforward, but it has some neat tricks built into it. My favorite one being the unfolding of the wings here from the sides of the legs. And when you get to that jet mode, it's fantastic. It has a little bit of a feeling of an Earth-based jet while still looking cybertronian. The feet on the other side of the wings are a bit of an eyesore, but because of the color scheme, it's really forgivable. As I said throughout the whole video, I'm really curious to see how the Studio Series line is going to tackle this design here in the future and improve on the things such as the hollowness here and the articulation. But one thing's for sure, this mainline Megatron figure is really good and totally belongs in my collection. I would love to hear your thoughts on this figure down in the comment section below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more future videos, and follow me on Instagram here by the same name. And until next time, transform and rise up until all are one.